I've never seen this.
I never have either.
I don't know what they're measuring. They might be going to call George Brett out.
Well, he's out.
Yes, sir.
Brett is out. Look at this. Brett is out. And
he's steaming mad.
He is out and having to be forcibly restrained.
Hi again, it's Corey with DNC Ball Cards, back again with another Junk Wax era video for you guys. Today we're going to be busting open a box of 1988 Fleer. This box actually has my favorite player of all time on it, Andre Dawson. A few things about this set before we get started. It is a 660 card set. Subsets include the Superstars Special, which has 19 cards, and Rookies, which has 13 cards. The production for 88 Fleer was dramatically increased compared to the 87 set, which has depressed the long-term value, along with most other Junk Wax era cards, obviously. Key rookies in this set, or notable rookies, would include Jay Bell, Ellis Burks, Ken Caminiti, Ron Gant, Tom Glavine, Mark Grace, Edgar Martinez, Jack McDowell, and Matt Williams. Obviously two Hall of Famers there in Glavine and Martinez. This actually is a cello pack or cello box. This will be my first video where we're actually opening cello packs. I don't remember opening them much when I was a kid. Mainly remember wax packs, but this is a 24 pack box, 28 cards per pack, so a total of 672 cards in this box. Obviously they also did produce both rack packs and wax packs, and the rack packs actually included a headliner insert, and then All-Stars were inserted randomly in wax packs. So the cello packs may not have any inserts, but there are 2 stickers per pack in the cello packs. So this box does have a few cards on the bottom. The best of those would be that Mike Schmidt card there. I'm not going to worry about those really, but we'll go ahead and kind of get started here. I'm just going to go ahead and pull all these out and stack them up. I bought this box actually at a local card show, and the pack looks like it was actually kept in really good condition. Paid $10 even for this box. Arguably that would be an overpay, but probably not going to get it much cheaper. Obviously, like most of the sets in this era, we've got a lot of various Hall of Famer cards that would be fun to pull, along with those two rookies in Edgar Martinez and Tom Glavine. So the cello pack, obviously the cello packs, most known for being able to see through them. So there's a Ron Gant rookie card. I imagine these cards were typically handled a lot for people searching for good packs. That's why one of the reasons I was never a big fan of cello packs. It seems like when I would get to the store, there would only be a few packs left, and I just had the assumption that they were not very good. So you can see there's quite a bit more cards here than in a typical wax pack. 28 cards here compared to a typical 15 card pack. So pretty cool Americana feel on this 88 Fleer card. 1988, I guess, would have been an election year. Not sure if that's what they were going for. Backs also have a very American feel. It's actually a pretty good looking card. I don't mind the design. I'm just gonna go through here. Tony Fernandez, Danny Darwin, Darryl Boston, Ryan Sandberg. So there's our first Hall of Famer, big Ryan Sandberg fan, Cubs fan growing up. So Juan Nieves, Kevin Kaufman, Lee Guterman, Matt Williams, and that's a rookie card from Matt Williams. Had a decent career. I believe he may have had a 50 home run season, or at least pushed for one. Mike Young, Tim Leary, Tony Bernazard, Casey Candele maybe. And so here are the two sticker cards that I mentioned. We have a trophy expos card. Looks like the back has the stadium for the team. That's actually pretty cool. I would have enjoyed that as a kid, reading about the stadium and the capacity and when it was opened and so forth. So that's actually pretty cool. Looks like this card has the Orioles on it, so that's kind of cool. Bert Blyleven, another Hall of Famer. And it looks like there are inserts in this. So I had read that the inserts were in the wax packs, but clearly the All-Star inserts are also, if you can call these inserts, I guess they're inserts, but they're not part of the base set. Number 1 of 12 here, Matt Noakes, catcher. So that's cool. We'll be on the lookout for those. Checklist. Garth Eorg, Steve Farr, Jack Clark, Wade Boggs. That's a cool card. You can kind of see how it almost looks like it fades. There's kind of a Photoshop effect here, a little bit of a 3D effect, where it's coming out above the background, if you will. Always enjoyed watching Wade Boggs. Nice hitter. Dennis Martinez. I think I said in a previous video, Dennis Martinez was Pedro's older brother, and immediately realized when I listened back that is not true. It's Ramon Martinez. Dennis Martinez, I believe he threw a perfect game. That's what he's most remembered for, I think. Bobby Thigpen, Mike Scioscia. And here's some of those Fleer loves to do this. They did this a lot in 1987, and I pulled a ton of these with Jose Canseco. I think they had him on at least 3, if not 4, of these Superstar Special cards, and here he is again with his Bash brother, Mark McGwire. So that's a cool card. And then Ron Gant, Atlanta Braves, growing up in the South. You would watch the Braves and Cubs. Cubs were on WGN, so that's primarily why I was a Cubs fan. But would get to go see the Atlanta Braves play, because that's closest big league town. Bryn Smith, Brian Dorsett, Scott Sanderson, Dave LaPointe, Steve Sachs, Chris Bosio, Charlie Puleo, Bill Ripken, 1988 Fleer Bill Ripken with a number 3 on the end of his bat. Obviously the next year, 1989 Fleer, there would be something else written on the end of his bat. Bill Wilkinson, John Tudor, Dave Bergman, Darryl Miller, Bob Brower, Riverfront Stadium, home of the Reds, Yankee Stadium, First game, 1923. Royce Smalley, Keith Hughes, Julio Franco. Julio's card, if you remember the 1987 Fleer box that I opened, we got 3 Julio Franco cards, which were actually worth $15 back in the 1992 Beckett. So there's Cal Ripken, Tony Fernandez, and Alan Trammell. 2 Hall of Famers there. Juan Agosto, John Marzano. That catcher's mitt looks huge for some reason. Maybe because he doesn't have his catcher's gear on, I'm not sure. Frank DePino, Dan Plesac, Terry Harper, Pat Perry, Rick Rochelle, Frank Tanana, and John Kruk. Looks like he just, I don't know, who knows what's going on there. Alright. So, we have the Superstar Specials here on the back. Actually open up really easily. Wasn't sure how easily these cello packs would open, but actually tear right open. Very, very thin, thin layer of cellophane there. Kurt Stillwell, Steve Buechele, Jesse Orozco, Mike Witt, Rick Shue, Jesse Barfield, Rick Manning, Dan Pasqua, Bobby Bonilla, Gene Larkin, Dennis Rasmussen, Rick Leach, Steve Balboni, Todd Worrell, Calvin Schiraldi. Couple of stickers here. Milwaukee Brewers. I've been going through some 1954 Topps cards and have the Milwaukee Braves on the top of my head. Dodger Stadium. Terry Kennedy, Mike Scott, Alvin Davis, Scott Lusader, Chuck Finley, Pete Incaviglia, Dave Dravecki, Bill Buckner here, moved on to the A's, Andy Hawkins, Rich Gedman, Sid Fernandez, Rick Roden, and there's that NL, it's the Superstar Special NL All-Stars, Keith Hernandez and Dale Murphy. I think I always thought the cello packs were less protection for the cards too, so I thought that the corners and things would be dinged up, but not so with these cards. This box was very well kept. Lee Tunnell, Walt Terrell, Mark Rial, Pete O'Brien, Candy Maldonado, Eric Plunk. I think he shared a rookie card with Jose, 86 Fleer, maybe, or 86 Donruss one. I think it's, it was definitely Fleer. Jimmy Jones. There's Oil Can Boyd. Dwight Gooden. Strike those mofos out, as he would say. Dave Righetti, Bob Patterson, Al Newman, Don Carmen, Ken Schramm, Bo Diaz. Trying to do his best Pete Rose impersonation there with that hair, but not quite. Pittsburgh Pirates Stadium, Three Rivers Stadium. Most of these stadiums obviously are no longer in use. Cleveland Stadium. Eddie Murray. So that is, that's a cool card. Eddie Murray. Eddie Murray's really underrated. He's a Hall of Famer, obviously, but he's a member of the 500 Home Run Club, 3,000 Hit Club. Very elite club there. Reggie Jackson here with the Oakland Athletics. Another Hall of Famer. Bob Sebra. Dan Quisenberry. There's a Major League Prospects card. John Burkett, I remember him. He would go on to have at least a few good seasons. Cecil Espy. Gene Walter. Jack Howell. Lance Parrish. Another Superstar Special, Dave Righetti and Dan Plesac. I'm using Superstar very liberally there. Greg Matthews, Brad Arnsberg, and Junior Ortiz. You see the card's quite a bit off center. 70-30, 75-25 maybe, I'm not sure. Not very good at grading cards, but I can definitely tell that one's quite a bit off center. Mark Eichhorn on the front here. So again, rookie cards, we'd like to get Tom Glavine and Edgar Martinez. That's who I would like to get as far as these rookies go. Other base cards would love Nolan Ryan, Cal Ripken Jr. Obviously, I'd like to get Andre Dawson. Here's a Rafael Palmeiro card. Another member of the 500 Home Run, 3,000 Hit Club, but obviously he's probably never going to be in the Hall of Fame. Edgar Guerrero, Cecil Cooper, Andres Thomas, Mike Boddicker, Jose Cruz, Harold Reynolds, still doing commentary, analysis on MLB Network. There's the Astrodome, first game, 1965. I believe it was probably the first year they played there, I think, was the year they changed the name from the Colt 45s to the Astros. Greg Gagne, Mike Maddox, Joe Carter, Barry Larkin, Hall of Fame shortstop. Barry Larkin, there's a Mike Schmidt, Gary Carter, two Hall of Famers on that Superstar Special card. He didn't get a ton of all-star starts for the National League because he played, his career intersected with Ozzie Smith, fan favorite. So, and there's the Hawk, Hall of Famer, Rob Deere. And there's our Tom Glavine rookie card, 88 Fleer Tom Glavine. Dave Valley, Eddie Milner, Kurt Gibson. Obviously, he would, I'm not sure if he signed with the Dodgers between 87 and 88 or got traded at some point during the season, but obviously he would go on to have World Series heroics in the 1988 season. Robbie Wine. Jose De Leon, Jamie Moyer. Going to have a very, very long career. Mark Clear, Ozzie Virgil, Mike Kingery, Atlee Hammaker, Mike Henneman, Lance McCullers, Ken Dixon, Tim Cruz, Steve Ontiveros, there's Tim Rock Rains, Brett Saberhagen. I think we've got one of our all-star inserts here. There is Jack Murphy Stadium and Veterans Stadium, Philadelphia. There's Kirby Puckett. The one Kirby Puckett Fleer card I'd love to have is the 84 Fleer update Kirby Puckett. That 84 Fleer update set is quite valuable. One of the only truly valuable junk wax era cards if you consider 84 in the junk wax era. Roberto Kelly, Tom Henke, Melito Perez, Ricky Horton, Ellis Burks, and that is an Ellis Burks rookie card that we mentioned at the beginning. Top prospects: Randy Valerde maybe, and Adam Peterson, Dave Henderson, Al Pedrique, Gary Reedus, Bob Welch. There is a Billy Ripken, Cal Ripken, the O's brothers, Orioles brothers, and Al Hall. John Cangelosi, Keith Atherton, Steve Yeltz, not sure if that's a soft J, Yeltz, Greg Swindell, Nick Isaski, I'm not sure, Manny Lee, Bob Nepper, assuming that's a silent K. Getting some funny names this time. Steve Lyons, Rick Sutcliffe, Bill Schroeder, Marty Clary, Ken Phelps, Harry Spillman, Lou Whitaker. Many feel Lou should be in the Hall of Fame. Cleveland Stadium again. Jeff Reardon, Roger Clemens. So we finally got a decent all-star insert here. Matt Noakes and Ted Higuera. Don't know how to say Higuera's last name, but Roger Clemens is a good one to have for sure. Guy Hoffman, Dwayne Ward, Jerry Gleaton. There's Ozzie Smith. Keep Barry Larkin not off the All-Star team altogether, but Ozzie would usually start ahead of him. Pascual Perez, John Farrell. He would go on to be a manager, I believe. Bob Dernier, Bob James, Mickey Hatcher, Juan Castillo, and Ted Simmons. So this is an example of one of those cards, unless somebody really good is on the back here. Eric Show. This probably would have been one of the last packs in the box, you know. Checklist on the front. Unless there's some sicko out there that wants the checklist. You know who you are. Checklist. Ernie Witt. Ross Jones, Tony Pena, Dwight Evans, Bob McClure, Sammy Stewart giving the thumbs up and the wink. Having a little fun there. Manny Trio, Ivan Calderon, Jeff Hamilton, Superstar Special here, Wally Joyner, still considered a superstar at this point, and Corey Snyder, Gerald Perry, Jim Dwyer, Glenn Davis, Yankee Stadium here, and got the Mariners, the Kingdom. Again, most of these are now defunct. Steve Carlton here with the Twins. Man, I didn't even realize he played for the Twins to end his career, I guess. 80s, played for him, 87. Cards, Phillies. You know, obviously he played for the Phillies for the bulk of his career. Giants, White Sox, Indians, Twins. He kind of bounced around there at the very, very end of his career. Mike Jackson. Scott Bales. Cobra, Dave Parker. Juan Beniquez, Ty Gainey, Bill Long, Dave Martinez, Greg Brock, Joe Bowever, Jeff Reed, Jerry Reed, Mark Wassinger, Daryl Evans, and Eric Show. There. So far, I haven't really had anybody huge on the front or the back. Maybe that Ron Gant, he the most notable. That was on the back of maybe our very first pack. Charlie Paleo, another Bill Ripken, Bill Doran. We got 3 Bills in a row here. Got Bill Doran, Bill Ripken, and now Bill Wilkinson, and John, and Dave. Some common names here. Daryl Miller. There's a Bob, and a Kevin Mitchell. Kurt Young, Keith Comstock. I believe Keith has a rather notorious minor league card. You can Google that. It's quite funny. Todd Benzinger, Barry Lyons, and Donnie Baseball. That's sweet. Left-handed swing. There's the Astro. We won't keep looking at those stadiums. Ken Gerhardt, Ralph Bryant, Tony Phillips, Hubie Brooks, Kevin Seitzer, Tom Browning, Jose Guzman, Mookie Wilson, Wally Joyner, Bruce Ruffin, Lloyd Mosby, Steve Kiefer, Pat Clements, and Mike Dunn. And I did not, I never bought any 88 Fleer. First Fleer that I really remember purchasing and opening as a kid was 90 Fleer. And I bought a lot of that. Looking for Juan Gonzalez rookie card. And Dave Justice, I believe, rookie card as well. Did not open, I don't remember 88 Fleer. Remember 88 Tops, plenty of that. Ken Howell, Mike Davis, Mitchell Webster, Prospects Jeff King and Randall Byers. Curtis Wilkerson, Ron Darling, Dick Schofield, Shane Raleigh. And there is Tony Gwynn and Tim Raines, National League batting champs. I wonder if that means that they tie. They're just saying, okay, every year since 1984, either one of the two maybe have won. So, Bob Forsch, Claudel Washington, Mike Diaz, Juan Berenguer, Dave Schmidt, Denny Walling, Mickey Brantley, Lance Johnson, Mike Heath, Donnie Moore, Oda B. McDowell, Mike Lacoste, Jay Howell, Randy Reddy, Tom Bolton, Darryl Strawberry. Always loved getting Darryl Strawberry cards. He had a sweet look. The left-handers in general have beautiful swings, but he had a just effortless looking swing. Ricky Henderson with the Yankees here. He would go from the A's to the Yankees, back to the A's. I think he went to the Blue Jays for a while. He may have had another stop or two. Doug Gray back there. So there's Dan Pasqua on the front. Bobby Bonilla, Gene Larkin, Dennis Rasmussen, Rick Leach, Steve Balboni, Todd Worrell, Calvin Schiraldi, Bryn Smith, Brian Dorsett, Scott Sanderson, Dave LaPointe, Steve Sachs, Chris Basio, 2 stickers, Les Straker, it's a cool name, Les Straker, Wally Ritchie, Ed Vandenberg, John Franco, Jose Nunez, Rob Malacote, Floyd Bannister, Jerry Mumphrey, Dale Svim, there's Dale Murphy, Dave Hingle, Chris Spear, Chet Lemon, and Ed Whitson. That was a rather dud of a pack. All right, Jeff Calhoun, Brett Butler, Ted Power, John Franco and Steve Bedrosian. These cards really do have like a political feel. It almost feels like this would be at something you'd see at like the nomination of the for the president. Like it's just, I don't know, it definitely has this red, white, and blue American feel to it. Paul Molitor there. Hall of Famer Glenn. There's Glenn Hubbard, Mike Moore, Bob Melvin, Pat Sheridan, Stan Jefferson, Tom Niedenfuhr. A lot of white too, though. Maybe a little too much white for me. Kent Herbeck. And there's Wade Boggs. That's another good all-star insert. And here's a prospects card. Felix Fermin and Jesse Reed. Rance Molnix. Gary Thurman. Ken Daly. Oh man, he's having a little fun too. He's got, you know, glove on both hands there. Marty Barrett, Mike Fitzgerald, Chris Bando, Paul Nose, Kenny Williams, Dave Anderson, Ernest Riles, and Deion James. All right. Oh, there. See, this would have been, you know, probably one of the first cards, first pack gone. You know, somebody opens this box, puts it on the shelf to purchase, and so it would be just human nature to go through and see if you could find anybody on the front or back before you made your selection. So that's why I kind of felt like a lot of these cards would end up getting dinged up because people are kind of ruffling through them to find the best pack. Jim Presley, Jim Eppert, Joey Meyer. You know, people still do that today, you know, with these inserts that may be slightly thicker or larger. People try to fill a lot of these retail packs. Carney Lansford. So Tim Flannery. So I posted on Twitter. Didn't really get any replies. Please follow us on Twitter at DC Ball Cards here. I had a Ken Caminiti card with a motorcycle, so I wanted to see if anybody had any other non-baseball, you know, objects included in the cards. And so here's a good one: surfboard prop, I guess was the word I was looking for there. Bob Stanley, Howard Johnson, Ron Guidry, Bob Walk, Mark Davidson. I always loved this Atlanta logo. It's not very politically correct now, but it was still a cool logo. Ray Knight would have that very famous run scored in the '86 World Series. He was the winning run on that Bill Buckner error. Vance Law, Bill Pacoda, Dave Concepcion, Mike Lloyd, Rafael Santana, Willie Frazier, Vaughn Hayes, Fred McGriff, Mike Felder, Bobby Meacham, and there's the Barry Bonds card. You know, Barry Bonds, his father, obviously Bobby Bonds, played in the majors. Godfather was Willie Mays. Supposedly, I think Willie Mays had either advised his father, I think he advised his father, or maybe Barry, to look out for yourself in baseball. I think it kind of had hardened Barry a little bit. Andy McGaffigan, Angel Salazar, Jack Savage, Todd Simmons, Gino Petrali, Dave Magadan, Dwayne Bice. If you don't know the history on Dwayne Bice, just Google Dwayne Bice and Upper Deck. I think I've told the story once before, but we'll tell that story when we do an Upper Deck box at some point. Juan Samuel. Superstar Specials here: Mike Scott and Oral Hershiser, Joe McGrain, Phil Gullickson, Andy Van Slyke, George Frazier, Jeff Treadway. Speaking of Barry Bonds, you know, he was supposedly very jealous of Andy Van Slyke. Was probably a more popular player in Pittsburgh. Jeff Treadway, Larry Sheets, Billy Hatcher, Ray Canones. There's a Mark Grace rookie card, so that's cool. His 88 Donruss rated rookie card is probably a little more. That's the card I think of when I think of a Mark Grace rookie card, but that's cool. Johnny Ray, Jeff Russell, Jose Uribe, Terry Steinbach, Joey Cora, Al Nipper, Keith Hernandez, Tim Stoddard, Tim Teufel. Alright, so we got, looks like 10 packs left here. See some Santiago on the back of this one. Mike Lavalier, Frank Viola. A few years ago, I would catch Frank. I think his daughter was a diver for the Olympic team. Danny Jackson, Tom Hare, Bruce Hurst, Herm Willingham, Eddie Williams. There's Sean Dunston. His super strong arm. I haven't really looked at the back too much, but you know, the back has just got their biographical information like normal, statistics, and then it's got some cool splits here: day, night, home, and road. That's actually kind of cool. Not sure when I'm not sure if that's was on the 87 Fleer or not. I can't remember. There's Carlton Fisk, Hall of Famer, Sean Hilligus. We've got a Mark McGuire here. So this is our second Superstar Special with Mark McGuire. Zane Smith. And we do have to check out Wrigley Field here. First game, 1916, April 20th, 1916. Randy Bush, Jeff Stone, Pat Tabler, Cal Daniels, Willie Upshaw, Rocky Childress, Richard Dotson, Keith Moreland, Ted Higuera, Jeff Dedman, Donnell Nixon, John Perlman, Willie Hernandez, doing his best Reggie Jackson impersonation, and Benito Santiago. I guess the kids call these fat packs nowadays. They are rather fat. There's Kirby Puckett, Superstar Special. Jim DeShays, Bill Lindsay. There's Lee Smith, Hall of Famer. Recent Hall of Famer there with the Cubs. B.J. Surhoff, Keith Oberkfell, Scott Bankhead, Bob Brenly, feature manager, Jack Morris, Hall of Famer. There's back-to-back pitching Hall of Famers. You never really got excited without one of those cards as a kid, but Hall of Famers nonetheless. There's Fernando Valenzuela. He was superstar for a few years at least. Kind of faded away, but Gary Gaetti, Alan Trammell, Hall of Famer. Tomlin, Bud Black, Willie McGee. Look at Willie McGee's stolen bases here. He did not have as many as I thought he might. 56 and 85. Not quite as fast as Vince Coleman. Those Cardinals were fast. Sam Horn, Reed Nichols, Tommy Henzo, Wade Rowden, Donnie Hill, Franklin Stubbs. We have Saberhagen, Witt, and Jack Morris, and David Palmer. Yeah, we really would love for you to interact with us on Twitter. If you haven't subscribed on our YouTube channel, please do that. We've got a couple of playlists. We've got a playlist with some mainly junk wax era boxes like this, and then we've got another playlist, primarily Dustin opening the more modern product, and he has some really cool hits, usually with the boxes that he opens. Bo Jackson, that's a cool card. One of my favorite players. If I wasn't a Cubs fan and loved Andre Dawson growing up, I would probably have Bo Jackson would probably have been my favorite player. Very short career, but and there's Greg Jeffries. I reached out to at Cardboard Lifer on Twitter to see what he could tell me about 88 Fleer, and one of the things he mentioned, which I do remember as well. I can particularly remember the 89 Topps Greg Jeffries. Is that Greg Jeffries was the hot rookie card for a while. Met shortstop. It seems like anytime there's a young Met or Yankee, there's going to be a lot of demand. Devin White, Chris James, Nelson Liriano, Steve Stanacek, Charles Hudson, Don Haas, Ace, Oz, Nolan Ryan. Great, I was hoping I would get that. That card looks pretty significantly off-centered too, but that's a cool card. Let's see how far it goes back. Yep, goes back all the way. They even show his a minor league season there, 1967. So that's cool. He'd obviously go on to pitch several more years into the early 90s. Phil Bradley, Jim Lindemann, Tom Brookins, Mark McLemore, Mike Stanley, Will Clark, Mark McGuire. That's cool. That's cool to get that card as well. 87 Fleer. We talked about that. He was actually not included in the 87 Fleer base set. He was part of the update set. So that's actually would be his first base Fleer card, I guess you'd say. Roger McDowell, Mike Pagliarulo, a fun name to say, and Jose Lind. Mike Morgan, Prospects card, Chris Gwynn. Pretty sure that's Tony's younger brother, and Peter Smith. Doyle Alexander, involved in the famous John Smoltz trade. Rupert Jones, Greg Harris, Jeff Leonard, Storm Davis, Shane Mack, Kevin Romine, Wally Backman, Wayne Tollison, Doug Sisk, Dan Schatzeder, Greg Gross, interesting, Renee Gonzalez, Mike Devereaux, Luis Polonia, Neil Heaton, George Braden. Look at that pine tar. That's, you know, they did that on purpose. I love that. Love it. That's an awesome George Brett card. Not gonna lie. Terry McGriff, Bobby Witt, John Mitchell, Doug DeSins, Milt Thompson, Rob Ducey, Chuck Krim, Henry Cotto, and Brian Fisher. Alright, so 6 packs left. There's that Greg Jeffries. So that would have, back in 1988, this pack probably would have gone over the Barry Bonds pack, honestly, with Barry Bonds on the back. I think people thought at the time that Greg Jeffries was going to be a thing, going to be a big thing. It just didn't really work out. Devin White, Chris James, Nelson Liriano, Steve Stanachek, Charles Hudson, Mike Lavalier, Frank Bowles. We're getting lots of duplicates now, obviously, as we get here to the end. Dave Steeb. I thought that was Bo Jackson for a minute. Kansas City Royal Jackson. Tom Herr, Bruce Hurst, Herm Willingham, Eric Bell, Kevin Bass, Edwin Nunez, Steve Lake, Mike Thurmond, Kirk McCaskill, Dale Moharcheek, Mike Aldretti, Gene Nelson, Chris Brown, Ed Romero, Lenny Dykstra, Dave Winfield, Hall of Famer, and then Rafael Belliard. We still haven't gotten our Edgar Martinez rookie card. I think we've gotten a Jose Canseco base card. I think we've got a Cal Ripken base card. I'm sure there's a few other good cards, Hall of Famers that we would like to get here. Gary Lucas, Ruben Sierra, Scott Geraltz. And there's Jose. So speak of the devil. So need to maybe go through my list here and call out a few other names with that kind of luck that I just had. Sean Abner, Jeff Sellers. There's Gary Carter, Hall of Famer. The Kid. There's Willie Randolph, Bob Pipper, Tim Loudner, Luis Aguayo, Tom Candiotti showing off the knuckler there, Ron Robinson, George Bell. You see Shea Stadium here on the back. Yeah. This is Field Candlestick Park. Yep. Opened in 1960. And so there's our Cal Ripken base. So I called out Jose Canseco, and I called out Cal Ripken. So I'm definitely going to go through my list after this pack. Dennis Eckersley, Hall of Famer. Mark Kubica. Greg Tabor, Greg Myers, Edwin Correa, David Cohn, Greg Minton, Kent Tekulve, Ryan Sandberg and Ozzie Smith, masters of the double play, shortstop, second base. Jose Oquendo, Jerry Royster, and Sid Bream. All right, so as we get to the end here, let's see. I think we've got most of those cards. Got George Brett. Don't know if we've gotten a Mike Schmidt. Don't think we've got a Roger Clemens base card. Greg Maddux. Would like to get Greg Maddux. Obviously, I said Edgar Martinez earlier. And Tony Gwynn. Don't think we've got a Tony Gwynn base card yet either. So, a few more All-Stars. We haven't really gotten too many good All-Stars either, but that's okay. Jeff Blauser, letter braid on the back of this. All right, so Sutcliffe. We have an All-Star in this pack, I can see. Bill Schroeder, Marty Clary. There's Ken Phelps again. And Ken Phelps looks like a high school math teacher or something. He's got something, got that look. Harry Spillman. There's another Lou Whitaker. Luis Salazar. Lee Lacy. Brad Havens. Dave Stewart. Tim Wallach. There's another Bo. Good to get that duplicate. Frank Williams. Jerry Brown. See, we'll get two duplicate here. We'll get Comiskey. Comiskey Park opened in 1910. And nice. That's my favorite player, the Hawk. Andre Dawson, All-Star. Tom Hume. Kelly Gruber. John Davis. Danny Cox. Spike Owen. Randy St. Clair. Jay Bell. Jay Bell rookie. Les Lancaster. Harold Baines. Very underrated player. Recent Hall of Famer. Oral Hershiser. Jay Aldrich. And Jeff Blauser. Hershiser would obviously be known for his scoreless inning streak, along with his playoff performance in the 1988 postseason. And we did have a Tony Gwynn on the back, so that would have been another pack that would have been one of the first few to leave the box. And there's Vince Coleman. So we'd like to see Vince's stolen bases here. 145 stolen bases in 1983 with Macon. That's unbelievable. 3 consecutive years with the Cardinals of 100 plus stolen bases. So there's Roger Clemens. Not a Hall of Famer. You know why. Doug Jones hasn't quite yet let the mustache go out of control just yet. But in a couple of years, he would go full Yosemite Sam. Jim Sandberg. Ozzie Guillen. John Shelby. Jim Gantner with probably those are the glasses that turn in the sun. That's what it looks like. Jim Acker, Jeff Bellard, Craig Reynolds, John Moses, Kurt Ford, Bill Madlock. It's the Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, I think here, yeah. There's Joe Necro. He's got his knuckler full on there. is with the Twins. One of our previous videos as our opener included the incident with the emery board where he got caught red-handed. Todd Froworth, Corey Snyder, Buddy Bell, Crunch Time, Darryl Strawberry and Eric Davis. I think they're both from LA too. That's a cool card. Dave Smith, Ron Hassey. He either missed that bunt wildly, which I don't think is the case, or he popped it up right back. Just, yeah, not very good technique there. I'm just going to point out too, yeah, I mean, I was always taught not to put your fingers on the end of the bat or around the bat. You pinch the bat because you're losing so much of the surface area where you can make contact with the ball. Leon Durham, Glenn Braggs, Paul Ossenmacher, Mike Campbell, Mike Krukow, Matt Noakes, and there's that Tony Gwynn. That's like a pretty well-centered card. All right, 2 packs left. Kevin Mitchell, he may have made it. He was pretty popular too, so that would have been a pack that would have been selected probably after the Barry Bonds, Greg Jeffries, and Tony Gwynn, perhaps. Kurt Young, Keith Comstock, Todd Benzinger, Barry Lyons. There's Don Mattingly, Donnie Baseball, John Cangelosi, Keith Atherton, Stevie Jeltz again, Greg Swindell, Nick Isaski, Manny Lee, probably, I'm sure, like, Red, if there's a Red fan out there, he's like, you're blowing it. You should know that name. I just don't know how to pronounce it. Bob Nipper, Steve Lyons, Walt Weiss, Dave Otto, Nate Snell, Rick Rodriguez, Andres Calaraga, Charlie Liebrandt, prospects again, Greg Jelks, and Tom Newell, Jimmy Key, have a few good years, Keith Miller, Brian Downing, Glenn Wilson, there's Tony Gwynn and Vince Coleman, Hitting King and the Thief, obviously referring to his stolen base ability, John Morris, Ron Kittle, and the Smoker, R.J. Reynolds. All right, so we've got 1 pack left here. I think we've had pretty good luck. I think the only disappointment so far is the Edgar Martinez rookie that we're looking for. And truth be told, I think I have that card, so if I don't get it, I won't be that disappointed, but it would be nice to get another one. Danny Tartable, Ron Oster, Paul Kilgus, Bob Ojeda, Bob Boone, Steve Bedrosian, Cecil Fielder, Bill Wegman, Mike Easler, John Smiley, Dan Gladden, Bill Landrum, Jim Clancy, Thad Bosley. It's a disappointing pack so far. Let's see if this second half makes up for it. Mike Griffin, Gerald Young, Scott Bradley, Damon Berryhill, and Jeff Montgomery, Larry Herndon, Tony Armas, Fletcher, Robbie Thompson, not to be confused with Bobby Thompson, Rick Honeycutt, Eric Nolte, Mike Greenwell, Kevin McReynolds, Rick Cerrone, and Randy Myers. So no Edgar Martinez, but quite a lot of other cards, most of the other cards that we were looking for. So that is really cool. Again, if you're not following us on Twitter, please do so, at DC Ball Cards here. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Feel free to make comments, or if you know anything about these cards or any particular players or this set that I didn't mention, would love to hear about it. Until next time, thanks for watching.